Parliamentary Core Committee on Naga political issue expected to discuss the Naga political issue with Union Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi tonight. Delegations led by Rio, including UDA Chairman T.R. Zeliang and Deputy CM Y. Paton, fly down to national capital to decide further course of action. National Socialist Council of Nagaland (IM) calls for examination of the framework agreement to avoid any confusion over peace process. NSC and IM accuses former interlocutor R.N. Ravi for misinforming and misleading the government of India and the Naga people about the faction's stand. Global Naga Forum slams central government over its decision to impose Hindi as a compulsory subject in schools in Nagaland and the other northeastern states. The forum further accuses BJP-led central government of trying to introduce a Hindi Hindu-centric national education and end the Naga existence. Only few hours of rain once again exposes pathetic road conditions of Dimapur as potholes and waterlogging creates havoc for residents and commuters. Nltv visuals reveal government's continuous apathy towards development as the roads become dangerous for movement. After a week-long political drama, Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz President Shehbaz Sharif elected as new Prime Minister of Pakistan by the National Assembly of the country on Monday. Meanwhile, members of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf resign altogether from the National Assembly and walk out of the assembly ahead of voting. Hello viewers, I'm Rinki Gogoi and you're watching Nltv Primetime News. Let's see more of the news in details. Parliamentary Core Committee on Naga political issue delegations led by Chief Minister Nipu Rio will be leaving for Monday, Delhi, to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah and other central leaders to discuss on the political issues. The Secretary of PCCONPI, the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Land Revenue and Planning and Coordination, Neba Kronu, stated that after meeting, opinions of the members were taken and the meeting of the core committee with the WC, NNPG and NSC and IM leadership held on April 4 was updated to the members. Kronu stated that the delegations led by Rio, including UDA Chairman T.R. Zeliang and Deputy CM Y. Paton, will be meeting Amit Shah and other leaders in Delhi. Kronu said that the members also deliberated about the recent meetings held with the working committee of the NNPGs and the NSC and IM. Kronu stated that the committee was likely to have more sittings with working committee NNPGs and the NSC and IM.
Any resolution about the core committee was meeting now and then with NMTGs and then IM leadership also. So actually the parliamentary core committee that consists of all these MLAs and then not the MPs. So after we meeting the NMPGs and then IM leadership, we have to update our friends, all the honorable members. Now our Chief Minister and then the UDA Chairman and Deputy CM who is already
NSC and IM asserted that framework agreement has to be examined carefully to avoid confusion, as the agreement was signed based on the principal core issues between the Government of India and the NSCN. The NSC and IM, in a praise statement by its Information Bureau on Sunday, accused former interlocutor R.N. Ravi of misinforming and misleading the Government of India and the Naga people about the Nagas' stand. The faction further stated that the framework agreement clearly mentioned that dialogue between the Government of India and the NSCN has successfully concluded. However, the faction refuted, saying that the Indo-Naga talk never concluded on October 31, 2019. The faction maintained that negotiations are still going on to resolve the core issues without which there is no foreseeable agreement. Furthermore, NSCN maintained that they are confident that the framework agreement will provide for an enduring, inclusive new relationship of peaceful coexistence of the two entities. The Global Naga Forum has slammed the central government over its decision to impose Hindi as a compulsory subject in schools in Nagaland and the other northeastern states. The GNF, in a statement on Monday, questioned the state government. What are Nagas becoming? The forum further accused the BJP-led central government of trying to introduce a Hindu-centric national education in Nagaland and the whole of the Northeast. The forum has further claimed that the BJP-led central government is trying to end the Naga existence. The forum further stated that the BJP's current move will be the final phase and the beginning of the end of Naga existence as people. Furthermore, the forum maintained that it strongly opposes the imposition of Hindi in the state of Nagaland and the Naga homeland. Amidst the ongoing topic of whether Hindi should be made compulsory in northeastern states, NPCC President K. Thierry expressed his concern through a press release on 10th April. Thierry stated that even though Rio's government has accepted making Hindi subject compulsory for schools, Congress does not abide by the decision. Thierry further stated that Hindi should be made optional but not compulsory. He further notified that the action of the state government has compromised the spirit of Article 371A. Inherent language is identity with social connections and relations, and also added that Nagas have 32 languages and maybe up to 100 dialects. Thierry alleged that bringing Hindi as a compulsory subject is the last nail to the coffin of identity. Union Home Minister Amit Shah's statement that all the 8 northeastern states have agreed to make Hindi compulsory up to class 10 has evoked mixed response in Nagaland. While the statement has vexed some sections, others are of the opinion that imposition will hinder students' interest. However, Nagaland legislators and bureaucrats are yet to comment on the statement of Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Meanwhile, NPF President Dr. Shirozila Legitsi, in a statement on Sunday, pointed out that if the central government imposes a language on people who do not know the language, it will amount to alienation, which may not certainly be in the interest of the nation. On the other hand, RPP President Joel Naga, during an interview with Nltv, demanded immediate clarification from the State Chief Minister Nipu Rio, Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton, and also the State BJP President and the Advisor for School Education on the serious issue. It may also be mentioned that some school heads stated that making Hindi compulsory in the northeastern states would mean forceful implementation of the interest of a few to popularize Hindi. However, another was of the view that it would help students in learning a new language, which can make a helpful contribution to the situation.
Except for Principal Director Education Naga statement. Anyway, before going into that, I have clarification Hindi, learning Hindi is not, is welcome. Or Hindi will be any language, whether Hindi, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, French, whatever. Or by all means, learn these languages. However, compulsory accept no. This is not compulsory. This is called imposition. imposition is not acceptable. Kile mane, ito issue ki ase bole to, as of now, Nagaland class 8 tak to compulsory ase. And after class 8 is optional, Hindi is optional. Alternative English will be, local dialects will be, ito to apni kundu lo munja lo pare. It's optional. Aro, here the main issue is, there's a thing called sender and state list. Central list, state list ase. State list education aahe. To Ministry of Home Affairs, no be Indian government, mohange impose korna paribo because education falls under state list. Nagaland state has full freedom whether to accept Hindi till class 10 or not to accept Hindi till class 10. Nagaland government has full freedom. Aro iniga situation there. Honorable Home Minister has said that all the states have agreed. Now people are confused. The RPB demands from the state government to make a clarification on this issue. Kilimane, the principal director Shanavaspa Kuishe, we are yet to receive a directive. Home Minister ekta political statement dishido, and it is incumbent upon the state government to give a statement and clear.
Department of School Education has issued a clarification to the statement where the state has been accused of forcing Hindi to be imposed as a compulsory subject till class 10. In a statement of clarification issued by the Principal Director of School Education Shahnawaz C, informed that Nagaland schooling system follows three-language formula till students reach class 8, where Hindi is to be taken as a compulsory subject. As the student reaches class 9 and 10, the student has the liberty to choose further either to take up Hindi, a modern Indian language, or alternative English. Shahnawaz stated that as per the Northeast policy, the three languages will be learned by children would be the choice of the state, region, and of course the students themselves. Shahnawaz also mentioned that as the timeline for implementation of NEP 2020 was 2030 and stated that the Union Ministry of Education had not issued any instructions for making Hindi compulsory in the secondary stage. Recent monsoon hasn't been very cheerful for residents of Dimapur, especially commuters, as the road condition in Dimapur continues to remain stagnant. The public has voiced concern over poor road conditions across the commercial hub of the state. Rain has damaged several roads within Dimapur town and it is only getting worse. Potholes and waterlogging is creating havoc for commuters, especially vehicles with low ground clearance. Besides, it has become potentially dangerous as vehicles try to navigate towards the better portion of the road, not concerned that they are on the wrong side. The extent of damage in most areas is extremely bad. Road conditions near Fate Hospital has remained untouched and unattained, which has become a big hurdle. Especially for sick patients, it is a wonder that the department is still sleeping over it. Therefore, the citizens urge the concerned departments as well as the state government to look upon the matter immediately.
Sevok road to Dubinala, Sevok road Ola to Manudogbi, Beravana, Garidukina, Beravana, itu Apnian Ekbar Saizile, Gorman Bra, you see Paldagisho, one Eman Dupagina Bera, say at the public school Devi Bachakan Lujavana, Pani Girile, all of Solo Pani Girise. আজি তো কোনবা বাচ্চা তো নাযায় কিনা বি ঘৰতে বহি আছে এটো আপুনি আনতো চাব লাগিব বেছি চৰম আছে এটো আৰু এনেকা ৰাস্তাতে মন তো গাড়ী বনাই কিনা গাড়ী বি চলাব নাপাৰে বেছি দুখ এটো তো একদম চাব লাগে এটো বেছি দুখ পাছে পাব্লিক খান ইয়াতে লাগা এটো তো ভাল পুৰা চাই দিলে ভাল আছিল ৰাস্তাটো আমি খান সব অটো ড্রাইভার খান আর ইয়াদেলা পাবলিক খান পুরা রিকোয়েস্ট করে আছে গভর্নমেন্টকে একটু ভাল পুরা চাই দিলে আমি খান বেশি খুশি পাব এতিয়া পানি সিজন আছে আমি খান তো বাচ্চা বি স্কুল যাব নাপারে আর গাড়ি বি চলাব যাব নাপারে গাড়ি গুছি যায় ইমান ডাঙৰ গাদা হৈ কিনা আছে রাস্তাতে তো এইটো চাই দিলে বেশি ভাল হব না কইনা জানাই দিয়া আছে
খালি রাস্তা নহয় কেনে না
এইটো ৰাস্তাটো ছাড়বি ইয়াতে ফেথ হস্পিটেলটো ইয়াতে আছে ইয়াতে পৰা ফেথ হস্পিটেল যাওঁতো বেমাৰ মানুহ যাবলৈ দিগদাৰ এতিয়াতো আৰ্মি খান লগা এইটো ৰাস্তা মাটিটো ছাড়ি কিনে থাকিছে আৰ্মি খান পৰা মাটি ছাড়ি কিনে থকাটো তাখানটো বন্ধ কৰি লৈছে এতিয়াতো ফেথ হস্পিটেল দিবি জাম হৈ আছে ফেথ হস্পিটেলৰ পৰা জাম হ'ব ফালে পৰা টাটা গাড়ী আহিব বাছ এইটো চেণ্ট্ৰেল স্কুল লগা বাছ আহিব ৰাস্তা জাম হৈ যাব আৰু আমি খান এতিয়াতো অহা যোৱা কৰিবলৈ নাপাৰা হৈছে মেইনটো আচলতে বেমাৰ মানুহটো ফেথ হস্পিটেল আজিকালিতো কি মেচিনাৰী ইয়াতে ডক্টৰ নতুন আহি কিনে সব ডক্টৰ ডিমাপুৰ লগা ডক্টৰ কিমান আছে সব লগা ৰিপৰ্টটো তাখান ইয়াতে এক্সৰে কৰিবলৈ কি আল্ট্ৰাচাউণ্ড কি কৰিবলৈ আহে এইটো খানটো ইমান দুখ পৰা যাই আছে আচলতে আমি খান অটোটো ছাড়িব আমি খানটো জিনে তিনে চলিব পাৰোঁ বুলি মেইনটো বেমাৰ মানুহ কাৰণে ৰাস্তাটো বনাই দিলে ভাল আছে
আমি খানটো ইয়াতে মাছ মাৰিবলৈ আছে এতিয়াতো ফিচাৰী আছে ইয়াত আহিবি সব মানুহ আহিবি পাব্লিক খান আহিবি ইয়াতে মাছ কৰিব ইয়াতে মাছ সিঁচিব আহিবি 5 চলে আছে ফিচিং কৰিব আমি খানটো মাছ সিঁচিবলৈ আছে দেই এতিয়াতো ৰোড নাবনাই গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট নাই নাগালেণ্ড গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট টাউন আছে ওলিবি নাবনাই ৰোড 20 সাল নিচিনা হৈছে নাবনাই আমি খানটো মাছ সিঁচিবলৈ আছে থেংক ইউ
The Directorate of Municipal Affairs Nagaland has been shifted to a new location adjacent to the Directorate of Urban Development Nagaland New Capital Complex area with effect from April 11, 2022. The information has been provided by Additional Director and HOD Directorate of Municipal Affairs Nagaland, Chenitang Lotha. Meanwhile, the general public official correspondences and communications have been directed to take note of the same. Shokhuvi railway station in Chumukedima, which was scheduled to begin passenger train services from Sunday, was postponed due to some issues. Notably, the Shokhuvi railway station is already operational for freight terminal with full-length goods yard. Meanwhile, a roadshow with traders and business enterprises has also conducted at Dimapur and Shokhuvi railway stations on April 9 regarding commencement of loading and unloading operations at Shokhuvi goods terminal. Northeast on Wheels, an expedition to connect the Northeast with the world across Nagaland on Monday. Notably, 75 bikers and pilots divided into 6 groups are riding the 8 sister states of Northeast to be completed in 9 days, covering an approximate distance of 1,400 kilometers each biker. The expedition is organized by the Amazing Namaste Foundation with the objective One Nation, One People, One Culture, with a vision to connect the Northeast with the rest of the world. It was flagged off from Guwahati on 9th April 2022 and will culminate on 17th April 2022 at Guwahati. Out of the 6 groups, the Hornbill group, consisting of 14 riders from different states along with their group leader, reached Kohima on Sunday and are heading to Manipur on Monday evening. The group, on reaching Nagaland, had been having interactions with the local people and exploring places, and further had an interaction with the entrepreneurs from Made in Nagaland along with the YouthNet officials.
The complete event is called Northeast on Wheels, and there are 75 riders and 7 different routes. So we are on just one route, and our group is called Hornbill. Yeah. So total we'll be covering all the 8 states, and we are on this particular route on the 3rd day now. And what else you wanted to know?
So you are of the Hornbill group among
Hornbill
the different groups.
And the organization is Amazing Namaste.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how many states you are going to cover, and which are the places that your group are going to visit?
Our group will be covering 3 states, started from Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, Meghalaya, and back. 4 is it? 4, yeah.
Meghalaya and back to
Yes.
Good. All right then. Thank you so much for interacting with us.
you.
Yeah, and all the best.
It's a
Or
pleasure.
you want to say something?
No, we just want to say Hornbill! Let's chill! Hornbill! Let's chill! Hornbill! Let's chill! Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anjali. I'm from UP and I'm a group leader of this group. So Amazing Namaste Foundation organized this full event, Northeast on Wheels. So we have 15 bikers in this group in total Northeast we have 6 groups in different states. So we cover some parts of Assam in our group, some parts of Assam, in some parts of Nagaland, Manipur, then we go to Meghalaya, then we are completed our bike at Guwahati only. So we started on 9th, and this is a 9 days adventure of this. We are expected from our riders. It's this they are going to ride in Northeast, whole Northeast, and experience and share with all India. They all are from different state, in different culture, and they enjoying all the rides. We have so many events, so many interaction in mid.
The Dimapur Meitei Council held a program for launching Meitei waistcoat. The program was held at Kejau Colony near Livingstone Higher Secondary School on 10th April 2022. Hotolu Sema NCS SDO H-Quarter, Dimapur, graced the program as a special guest. While the guest of honor was Yimbemo Kikon, President, Dimapur District Citizens Forum.
Sufficient in every essential things which
Simitegi waistcoat Nasigi Nomisida Toktere Simitei waistcoat se Sakta Mitei Nipas in a Sakta Zapchaban upon a second of a Mitei Wajaba with Sakta and Wainaba like the Namaram or Nam Masi waistcoat up in a Putokjabane Aduna Hoki lady but traditional Mitei Goeba Nipan Sepase Masin Lali Habanate Asina Jumi Habanate Aduna Masina Sakta and Wainaba Nagalanda Masi Atopa tribe Semakumatanda Atopa group singer Mitei Lana Apoise Atopa tribe Atopa community Amani and Kankindo Asidilla Gadi Asidagi Mitei have the Sakta and Waibra Masina Sakta Jumana Kanjabane Asinia Liberiba Siosa sing Nodista Mitei is Siosa sing Liberium we promote of you accept of you Masina Asidagi.
Union Minister Smriti Irani on Sunday, while speaking about the one-stop center, stated that Anganwadis and one-stop centers across the Northeast region will receive active support from the center to ensure that geographical and logistical challenges are met expeditiously. And the Union Women and Child Development Minister says that collaborated effort is taken up in those facilities where various branches of government come together to ensure that police, psychosocial and legal counselors under one roof provide integrated support and assistance to women affected by violence, both in the private and public spaces. Irani also stated that 300 more such centers will be opened in the country and that in the past 3 years, 70 lakh women have received support from the government in collaboration with women helplines. The Department of Horticulture, School of Agriculture, Science and Rural Development NU organized a training program on cultivation of fruit-based intercropping for enhancing income and Besam Puikam and Rentan Woka on April 7 and 8 for 10 beneficiaries each under AICRP TSP program. The resource person of the program, Dr. Waluniba, imparted knowledge of pest and disease management in fruit crops, followed by a PowerPoint presentation on production technology of fruits and vegetables by Dr. Sentirenla Jamir. Dr. Grace Lee Yaptomi also delivered a lecture on intercropping in fruit crops. Moreover, after the lectures, farmers were given fruits, planting material and various other inputs. Project in charge Professor C.S. Mighty assured farmers as extended help and assistance. Later, an interactive session between the resource persons and trainees were also conducted. The Film and Training Institute of India will be conducting a 10 days free of course training on basic courses in screenplay writing for ST participants residing in tribal districts of Nagaland at the Directorate of Information and Public Relations, Kohima. Notably, the training course will begin from April 18 and conclude on 29 April 2022. It may be mentioned that the participants should belong to scheduled tribe and should be 18 years and above. Moreover, there will be no course fee. However, participants are required to pay Rs 500 at the time of registration. Interested candidates may send their details with their first ST certificates to dipr.nagaland@gmail.com or contact 88611 60084. The last date of registration is 16th April 2022. It may also be noted that the certificates will be issued by the FTII upon successful completion of the course. However, no TA and DA will be provided. Indian Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rainfall in many states, especially in northeastern region. According to the Weather Department, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura may witness rainfall during the next 5 days. It is to be mentioned that Nagaland will witness heavy to moderate rainfall from April 10 to 14. Assam and Meghalaya on April 10, 13 and 14. Arunachal Pradesh will witness rain on April 13 and 14. Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura may see rains on April 10, 13 and 14. Rainfall is also in the forecast over sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim on April 10. Incidents of communal violence have marred Ram Navami celebrations in Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand and West Bengal on Sunday. Fresh incidents of violence were reported in Mulbagal in Karnataka's Kolar district and in Karauli, Rajasthan. Moreover, clashes were reported between two groups of students in JNU over non-vegetarian food at a hostel in New Delhi. Over 60 students were injured of the left-controlled JNU Students' Union and RSS-affiliated Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad during stone pelting. Several purported videos of the violence surfaced on social media, with one of them showing Akhtarishta Ansari, a second-year MS student of sociology, bleeding from the head. Meanwhile, in Gujarat, one person was killed and another was injured in a communal clash in Khambhat city during a procession taken out on Ram Navami, while Himatnagar city also witnessed violence between members of the two communities during a similar event. The clashing groups indulged in stone pelting and arson at both places, and the police had to lob tear gas shells to bring the situation under control. Similar incidents were also reported in Madhya Pradesh, Khargon city, triggering incidents of arson wherein some vehicles were set on fire, prompting authorities to clamp curfew in 3 areas and Section 144 CRPC in the entire city. Meanwhile, BJP has blamed the opposition and questioned whether the attack on Ram Navami yatras across the states and clashes in JNU was a coincidence or conspiracy. However, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi appealed for peace and harmony and said that hate, violence and exclusions are weakening the country. A massive fire broke out in a slum near Ghaziabad's Indrapuram area on Monday. The fire reached the cow shed nearby and has killed over 50 cows so far. It has been reported that an Indian oil warehouse is situated near the fire site. According to locals, some LPG explosions have likely taken place. Several fire tenders have also reached the spot and rescue operation is underway. More details are awaited. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao on Monday issued a warning to the centre over its paddy procurement policy and said that they would go after the government if crops are not procured uniformly within the next 24 hours. Notably, TRS MPs, MLCs, MLAs and other elected representatives took part in the dharna while raising claims that the centre's policy is discriminatory towards Telangana farmers. Addressing the protest, Rao requested Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Piyush Goyal to procure crops uniformly across the country, including Telangana. CM also warned PM against messing up with the farmers. It is to be mentioned that KCR was joined by farmer leaders Rakesh Tikait in the protest against the centre. Therefore, slamming the BJP for the procurement policy, Rao said that if the government does not frame a new agricultural policy, the public will remove the government. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold a virtual meeting with US President Joe Biden on Monday. The two leaders will review the ongoing bilateral cooperation and exchange views on recent developments in Southeast Asia, Indo-Pacific region and global issues of mutual interest. The meeting will enable both the sides to continue their regular and high-level engagement aimed at strengthening the bilateral comprehensive global strategic partnership. Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is set to meet his counterpart Lloyd J. Austin in the Pentagon on Monday. Singh is on a 5-day trip to the US. The Ministry of Defence Singh will be holding meetings on the ways to deepen the India-US strategic partnership. The 2+2 dialogue between Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and their American counterpart is scheduled to take place. The dialogue will provide an opportunity to exchange views of important regional and global developments and on how to address issues of common interest and concern. The National Assembly session for the election of the new Prime Minister of Pakistan has been held. The Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz President Shehbaz Sharif has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of Pakistan unopposed. The session has been chaired by the member of the panel of chairs Ayaz Sadiq after Speaker Asad Kasir resigned from his post. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf leader Shah Mahmood Qureshi also in the fray for the prime ministerial post. However, PTI resignation from National Assembly put an end to his contention. For the first time in Pakistan, Imran Khan has been expelled as the Prime Minister of Pakistan from office through a no-confidence motion after the National Assembly debated on the matter for more than 12 hours and the political situation in the country took a critical turn Saturday night. Meanwhile, ahead of the session, PTI members of the National Assembly resigned en masse, led by the Prime Minister Imran Khan. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz President Shehbaz Sharif has been elected unopposed as the new Prime Minister of Pakistan on April 11. On the other hand, Imran Khan-led Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's party has boycotted the National Assembly session for the election of the new Prime Minister. Notably, all the members of the Assembly have submitted their resignations en masse to the Speaker at the National Assembly session, reportedly as the sign to fight for freedom. Notably, combined opposition has named PML and President Shehbaz Sharif as a joint candidate at the Parliament's National Assembly session. The Assembly elections began after a week-long constitutional crisis that climaxed on Sunday when Khan lost a no-confidence vote. Russia-Ukraine war enters 47th day, but Russia has failed to take any major cities as Ukraine continues to defend its country. Notably, Russia failed to take the capital city of Kyiv as it faced a strong resistance. But the war has now shifted to the eastern part of the country as Vladimir Putin has picked a seasoned military chief general Alexander Vornikov to oversee the invasion. The Kremlin has been accused of over 5,000 crimes of aggression, including mass killings and rapes, and Ukrainian officials also stated that about 90% of the infrastructure in the strategic port city of Mariupol is surrounded by Russian troops for over 1.5 months and suffered severe damages, and more than 4.4 million people have been forced out of their homes since the start of the war. On the other hand, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the next few days of war are very crucial. Thank you, viewers. That's all from Nltv Primetime News. I'm Rinki Gogoi signing off. For more updates, keep watching Nagaland TV. Sob Manula ka Awas.
New YY Dynamite Instant